Hello everyone, this video is part of the BearNBull feature series. We are going to talk about the portfolio performance graph. I'm here at the BNB Invest portfolio page. First section we see is the graph section. There's a tab right above it called performance. I'm going to click on it and it will take us to the portfolio performance graph. This is a time series chart where the x-axis are the dates and the y-axis the rate of return. There are multiple lines, each one representing the performance of one of the assets in our portfolio. This is the accumulated rate of return in this specific period that we set on the input fields above the graph. There's also a line representing the portfolio performance itself. In this case, this is a time-weighted return. And this is very important because the time-weighted return discounts any effects of cash flows in and out of the portfolio. In that way, we can compare the performance of the portfolio to any of the assets or any benchmark we select. There's a lot of information on this graph. Luckily, if I scroll down to the table section, first table is the holdings table, and the first column is a show column where we have these checkboxes where we can toggle the graph visibility. If I check on the first one on the portfolio line, I can check all of them at the same time, and if I scroll back up, I'll see there's only one line on the graph, and this is the portfolio performance line. It starts at 0, and as I hover over the line, I can see up to a specific date, the accumulated rate of return. So if I go all the way to the end of the period, we get to 18.51% rate of return. This graph also gives us another important information, which is the money-weighted return. In this case, the money weighted considers any effect of cash flows, all the buy and sell orders we have in this specific period. The information is right below here on the graph. We have the rate for the period and also the annualized rate, in addition to a comparison to the time-weighted return over the period. And this is important information because in this case, since money weighted is smaller than time weighted, we can infer that there was a negative impact of cash flows, meaning we didn't time our buy and sell orders well. If we change the period, of course, the information might change. So I have a smaller period here going up to April. If I click on update, the graph regenerates, all the information is recalculated, and when the process finishes, we'll see that the warning is now in yellow. The money weighted and time weighted were updated, and there is a neutral impact of cash flows because they look very close to each other. If we go even shorter on the period, which is not super useful because the period is too short, we get to a green warning because money weighted is bigger than time weighted. So we infer that there was a positive impact of cash flow. I'm going to go back to the longer span of time here for now, and I'm going to wait for the graph to update. And I'll scroll back down to the table section, and I'm going to add one of the assets, in this case a S&P 500 ETF, to the graph to serve as a benchmark that we can compare the performance of our portfolio with. So we can also hover and get any point within this span of time. And this makes it very useful to understand how our portfolio is performing within this period. Another thing I would say, if you want to understand in detail performance management, specifically time weighted and money weighted returns, make sure to go to our blog section and check out a series of 3 articles on portfolio performance. I hope you like this feature. If you have questions, just send us a note.